So you're thinking about a career in IT service management, right? Or maybe you're already in the thick of it and you keep hearing this word, ITIL. It can sound kind of intimidating, like this whole other world of jargon and processes. Well, don't worry about it. Today, we're going to break it all down and we're starting right at the beginning, your very first step. Let's dive in. Okay, but first things first, why should you even care about a framework like ITIL? What's the point? Well, it's because pretty much every single IT department out there, I don't care if you're a tiny startup or a massive global company, is wrestling with the exact same big challenges. Let's just quickly run through them. All right, challenge number one. This is the big one, the most stressful one, just keeping everything running. You know how it is. When a critical system, say your company's website or order processing, goes down, the whole business just stops. It's this constant, high-pressure fight just to keep the lights on.
Next up, we've got the value problem. It's not just about things working, is it? IT has to actually deliver real, measurable benefits back to the business. But how often have you seen projects that just fizzle out? They feel like a huge waste of time and money because nobody really knew what they were trying to achieve.
And of course, the final boss, managing costs. Think about it. Hardware, software licenses, cloud services, the whole shebang. IT spending can just spiral out of control so easily. And without a solid plan, it becomes this kind of financial black box that nobody really understands or has a grip on. So you've got this constant battle with keeping things running, proving your value, and controlling costs. It feels like you're always just putting out fires, right? That reactive way of working, it just doesn't cut it. You need a better way, a proactive strategy. And for millions of people around the world, that better way is ITIL. Okay, before we get any deeper, we need to get on the same page about the single most important word in all of ITIL, service. The definition sounds a little formal, but think of it like this. A service is what lets a customer get something done, like sending an email, without having to worry about all the complicated tech behind it. It's all about delivering value, pure and simple. Right. So if that's a service, then what's service management? Well, it's pretty simple. It's the how. It's the whole package, the people, the processes, the technology that an organization puts together to deliver those services effectively. It's basically the engine that makes everything go. Now listen up, because this is a really important point. ITIL is not some rigid, strict rulebook that you have to follow to the letter. Not at all. It's way better to think of it as a toolbox, just packed with good practices. These are proven ways of getting things done that you can pick and choose from and then adapt to fit your own company. It's a guide, not a straitjacket. It's also good to know that ITL isn't an island. It doesn't exist all by itself. It's actually part of a much bigger picture, a whole family of frameworks that handle different things, like project management or information security. The main thing to remember is that ITL is designed to play nicely with all these other systems, making sure that everything IT does is pulling in the same direction as the business. All right, so now we get the what and the why of ITIL. But the next logical question is, how do you actually learn this stuff and show people you know it? Well, that's where the ITIL qualification path comes in. It's a super clear, structured path that takes you from total beginner all the way to expert. And here it is. This is basically your roadmap to becoming an ITIL Pro. The whole thing is set up like a pyramid, you see. And like any good pyramid, it all starts with a strong, wide base. That base is the ITIL foundation. From there, you climb your way up through the more advanced levels, all the way to the top. So let's really zoom in on that bottom layer, because honestly, it's the most critical part of the whole journey. You can't build a skyscraper on a weak foundation, right? Same idea here. Let's talk about the ITL foundation level.
Okay, let's make this crystal clear, no confusion. The foundation certificate, it is not optional. It is the absolute mandatory starting point. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You literally cannot move on to the higher levels until you've passed this one.
So, what exactly are you going to learn at this stage? Well, the whole point is about getting a broad awareness. You're not supposed to be an expert in any single thing yet. It's all about getting that big picture view, the key principles, the main concepts, the terminology, and just a general feel for how the whole ITIL framework is put together. You know, this quote right here just nails it. The #1 goal of the foundation level is to get everyone speaking the same language. It's so that when one person on your team talks about an incident and someone else mentions a problem, everybody in the room knows those are two totally different things that need to be handled in totally different ways. It gets everyone on the same page. And hey, when you pass the exam, you get your first reward. You earn 2 credits. Now, 2 credits might not sound like a lot, but it's what gets you on the board. It's your official first step in the qualification scheme, and the key that unlocks the door to all the higher-level certifications. Look, if there's just one thing you take away from this, let it be this analogy. Think of the foundation level as learning the vocabulary of IT service management. It's teaching you all the key words and what they mean. You're not building complex sentences yet, but you can finally understand the conversation and know what everyone's talking about. Okay, so you've learned the vocabulary. What's next? Well, this is where your journey gets really interesting, because the path splits. Right after you nail the foundation, you hit the intermediate level. And as you can see, this is where you face your first big choice. The path literally splits in 2, and you have to decide which direction you want to go. So how do you pick a path? Well, it really boils down to your focus. The lifecycle modules are more about the big picture of management, looking at the entire lifecycle of a service from strategy all the way to improvement. On the other hand, the capability modules are more hands-on, focusing on the day-to-day execution and clustering processes together. Either way, if foundation gave you the vocabulary, this intermediate level is where you learn the grammar. It's how you start putting the words together to make things happen. So there you have it. The map is all laid out for you. You see the problems that ITIL is built to solve, and you know without a doubt that the journey starts by learning that core vocabulary with the foundation certificate. So now the only real question is, which path are you going to choose?